Hey guys, enter the stars, and I promise we're not going to spend too much time on this topic, but all that was hidden needs to be revealed. And I am certain now that this is my purpose on this planet. Each of us have our own gifts and our own purposes, but mine is to expose the evil that is taking place on this planet. And as we read and looked at in previous videos, we identified that MULK, which was appeared on the gravestones of the ancient Phoenicians and Carthaginians, which demonstrated their sacrificing of their children to MOLOK in the fire. We identified MULK on those gravestones. And then we were able to extrapolate that out and see that MULK really is MOLOK. And the archaeological record shows that. Well, now using these keys of wisdom, we're able to look through at modern day, basically applications of the word milk and how that fits into modern sacrifice. And what I found was unbelievable. And thanks to subscribers who sent me some of this information, I'm going to quickly review this. The areas where sacrifices were made were known as Tophet, which appeared in biblical texts as Tophet. The sacrifice itself was known as a MULK offering. MULK is a Semitic term derived from the root king and is represented in the Bible as MOLOK. Now, this is where things get unbelievable because Heidi KLUM, which is MULK backwards, was born on 6/1/73. Again, KLUM backwards is MULK. We're going to look at her Got Milk campaign, in which she posed twice for Got Milk, and we're going to see the truth. She was born on 6/1/73. This is the year the World Trade Center opened. 6/1. It would fall in the Hebrew year, 6/1, 28 years later. Now, she is now 43. She has posed for Got Milk twice. The most recent one in 2011 on her birthday, 6/1. As you can see here in this article, 6/1/2011, 6/1/11, 6/1/11. That's 9/11. Now, she also posed in 2008. Here's the image here. We're going to look at some of these images too in more detail. She posed at the Los Angeles Every Picture Tells a Story art gallery. Now, this one in 2008 was during the Halloween season. It was in October. And the pictures you're going to see next are unbelievable. Now, I believe what is happening here is that these people have sold out for money and are being used. Their symbols, their birthdays, everything about them is being used. Their name to promote the beast. The beast will use you if you open yourself up to be used. Sell out for money, riches above your brothers and your sisters. Now, this is Heidi in 2008, and here you see all the children. And now that we know what MULK and milk and KLUM backwards being MULK really means, we see how this woman was being used. I don't believe a film from 1971. And here they are in a milk bar with MOLOK Go drink right behind them. A direct link between MOLOK and milk. Everything we've been talking about, but we find the confirmation of what we already know to be true throughout these films. Now, I looked up what they were actually saying in this scene, and he says, the Krova milk bar sold milk plus Velicet or Synthemesk or Drinkrom, which is what we are drinking. This would sharpen you up and make you ready for a bit of the old ultra violence. And they commenced to wage violence all throughout the rest of the film, A Clockwork Orange. And that is what this milk of human sacrifice is about, violence. Now, in the last videos we did, you saw the character from The Simpsons called the MULK. And on the surface, it's just a knockoff of the Hulk, right? But in fact, it goes far deeper. Look at his teeth. His teeth are yellow because he isn't drinking enough milk. And in his debut scene from The Simpsons, in an episode talking about sex and all these other things, is the title of the episode, they show him juxtaposed to a milkshake as he's fighting the thung, which is the thing, and they show two children wrestling about two infants. Again, this goes back to child sacrifice from ancient Phoenicia and the Carthaginians, which is mentioned in the Bible. It's all been tied together, sacrificing their children to Moloch in the fire so that they can get favor with the demons, so that they can continue their lifestyles by sacrificing their children. And this is what this is all about, and make no mistake, and there will be more revelations, many more revelations, connecting the past to the present. We've shown you in previous videos how this also fits into the World Trade Center story, how the two twin towers are basically the milk cartons, and that all of this points back to the big fire, which has killed a bunch of people. Anyway, guys, keep your eyes peeled. If you have any other input, again, thanks to the subscribers who sent me this information on Clockwork Orange. I had no idea that they had Morocco and that they were in a milk bar. And also Heidi KLUM, thanks to the subscriber who sent that to me. That's the obvious one. MULK backwards is KLUM. And we will get to the bottom of this, guys. We will keep at it. So what's this all about? Well, let me boil it all down for you. This is about child abduction, sacrifice, rituals at the highest levels of government and of people in power. All of them implicating one another through these practices, so they're afraid to ever tell because they will lose their life. And they know that once they're taken out, they will go straight to hell for their things that they've done. But they cannot bring themselves to ask for forgiveness. They cannot bring themselves also to have to pay for what they've done. Because make no mistake, even though God forgives us for the things that we've done, there are still consequences. It is in the law of good and evil, in the tree of good and evil, which is where we're at now. For every action, there's a reaction. There needs to bring balance to the force, just like in Star Wars. It's the same thing. And so these people cannot bear to think that they would have to, in this life, pay for their actions. So they'd rather just go out in a blaze of glory, deal with that wilt, which involves ritual, doing the devil's deeds, sacrificing children, molesting children, abducting children, your children, not their children, your children, off the streets, and engaging in this ritual activity, which we saw leaked during WikiLeaks in these Podesta emails. And Lady Gaga and Abramovich were all lumped into this together. This is not a joke. This is not a parody. This is the truth. And then what they do is somehow they get some kind of gratification out of leaking the information out back to us in these films, TV shows. They're bragging to one another as well through this. They see the signs and symbols. They know what this stuff's about. And then in doing so, also, it somewhat, they believe, relieves them of their karma because we're too stupid to get it. Almost as if we're giving our children willfully. And this is why the laws like the abortion laws are so damaging. Because we give our consent for murder. We don't even realize it because we've been brainwashed into the lie and believing that these things are okay. Believing it's okay to kill other people before they can kill us, even though it's all just a lie and a scam. And this is why you must take a stand against these things. You must still love one another as we're commanded, but it's okay to take a stand and say something is wrong instead of going along to get along. And this is what we do on this channel. Take care and be safe, you guys.